Hello, Bell on EA Sports. There is no doubt both teams in today's game can defend the pass as each defense comes in ranked top 10 in fewest pass yards allowed. It's the Texans going up against the Falcons. So let's get over to the ATL, Atlanta. Standing by our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Well, there's a new building set to open adjacent to us to the south, but for now they're still playing football at the Georgia Dome, and that's where we are located here in downtown Atlanta. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Atlanta Falcons. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A big gain there on the first play of the game. 45 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's third down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So the opening drive for him here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 78 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
This is taken around the 12. 53-yard punt, and the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And now here's a carry heading left. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look at the offense that is hoping to put some points up in bunches here in this one. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Houston 1st down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. Room here to run. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll look to throw here. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Their big tight end, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. They worked out for 6. And here now come the Falcons. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. They'll drop to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And Freeman lost the football. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Taken in at the 11. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes the Texans now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Let's go.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Brief break in the action here. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Come on, let's go.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. It's complete to Fuller. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now it's Lockett. First down. He'll drop to throw it. He's going to air one out. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
2nd down now after the incompletion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green,
The wide
39.
receiver moving to a new spot.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 50.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he's got Lockett. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They dial the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Not a lot of dance steps in that run. That's much more like being that bowling ball, just going down and scattering some pins, breaking through contact, breaking through tackles, and he knows how to finish a run.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So that's the word from the referee. Neutral zone infraction, 5 yards.
And, of course, the defense is always pointing at the offense about how they drew them across. Flag goes against the defenders on that one.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Calling a gain of 4, leaves him with options here on second and just a yard.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Their big tight end with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some...
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Here we go now.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
They come out here in the eye.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, now, look at 56.
One receiver to the left is Cooper. They'll look to throw now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got that. He is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now here on EA Sports. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Play clock winding down. Now back to throw. And able to find Dorsett. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
As I watch that play unfold, stereotypes are being broken left and right. As a corner, you're often back there guarding against the pass. But how about that diagnosis and read and getting into the backfield and making a nice play and a tackle?
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion. Defense showing blitz. The play clock's running down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. Third and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. worked pretty well in that situation.
Back to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he is finally out of bounds across midfield at the 40-yard line.
What really hurts defenses on screen passes is that they eat up one of their levels right away. Because, you know, most defenses, 3 levels: D-line, linebacker, secondary. But on a screen pass, you're inviting the defensive line to get past them, and you throw the ball over their heads. And now there's just 2 levels left to try and stop big guys out in front of a guy running with the football.
And Jones has it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 11 yards for number 11.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. And to give this time to the tailback. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 10 yards to go on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And quickly, they get to the line. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need. Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. He'll drop to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're in a good spot. Two-possession game, barely, but a two-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go, Ohio!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Let's go! White, no, flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt. Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They'll set up a throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. So they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for Houston, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.